There we go. Yeah, nothing big, but I'll take them. What's happening, guys? Nick the Informative Fisherman here. Today, I want to break down some really cool tips about breaking down small water in the middle of the winter when it can be super, super tough. A few tricks that magically turn shallow lakes on and smaller lakes on to where you can get out and catch a bunch of active fish in a small window. So let's break it down. I couldn't get enough, guys. I was gonna start explaining to you guys how to pick these premium days. Oh my goodness. In the winter. But I couldn't help but pick up a square bill and start winging it. You know, it's this is a Lucky Tackle Box film. You look at that fish, that's a beautiful fish. This is actually a Bagley square bill that I got in a Lucky Tackle Box. I'm throwing a large variety of lures today, and that's not gonna matter for the whole base of the film, but there's just another favorite lure of mine that I've gained from having Lucky Tackle Box. There she goes. The interesting part, I'm throwing that Bagley on a Sticks hybrid bait cast. This is a 7-foot medium power rod, and for little square bills like that, I'm 12-pound fluorocarbon line as well. Little square bills like this here, a lot of the time on a bigger bait casting setup, you don't get a lot of range, but on this Sticks hybrid cast, I could throw this thing 150 foot out there. On a slicker, calm day like this, you see me fishing a square bill, the water's dirty, it's a warming trend, the fish are moving up shallow. What's critical is that you don't get too close to them on the boat, or if you walk up to the bank and you're bank fishing, that you don't get too close and you can make a long cast to them. The Sticks hybrid cast does exactly what I need it to do with that little balsa bee right there. Another square bill fish. Yeehaw. Oh, a little fatter. Little pork rooski. Give him a kiss. Woo! Say bye-bye, babe. Say bye-bye. All right, guys, one thing you're gonna often see me do is get up really close to the shoreline to take a look at my visual depth. I'm often gonna do this when I have a lot of rain happen in the wintertime and a warming trend right after. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna look, how deep can I see? If I can see 1.5 foot deep, what I wanna do is I wanna times that by 2. And what that does is it allows the fish to get close enough to the bank where it's warmer and they can actively hunt, but they're not visual to other prey or other predators preying on them from above. So what I did in this case right here, it was about 1.5, and now I said I want to be in 3 foot of water. So you can guesstimate that with a cast or a weight and a bobber, or if you're in a boat, you can do it with your fish finder. I'm looking right down here and I'm about 4 foot of water, so I know roughly, looking at this slower tapering shoreline, maybe 1 foot from the side of my boat is where I want to land. So I want to be 15 to 25 foot off this shoreline, because that's where I think my active hunting fish are going to be. If you have a faster tapering, means drops off faster, you want to make sure to land that cast right on the bank, and vice versa. If it's a slower tapering, means it drops off much slower, you want to make sure you land in that depth zone. These fish are still cold, they don't want to chase a lot, but it's a great, great way to track them down. All right, guys, it got a little slick calm. Settling down in the evening, my square bill bite kind of dried up, so I did a good old classic wacky rig Senko. You can't go wrong. This is actually not a Senko. This was another one out of the Lucky Tackle Box. I forgot who made that. Very similar chopstick style bait Senko. Slick Calm, the hybrid spin from Sticks is what I rigged that up on 8-pound fluorocarbon, wacky rig, little size 1 mosquito hook. Casting out there, letting it fall, just watching that slack line, seeing that line tick, reel down, there he was. Really fun when you have these warming trends. All right, guys, so what I'm talking about when I'm dealing with these warming trends in small water is, my favorite thing to happen is when I see it raining. Let's say it's been chilly, the water's been in the 40s, all of a sudden we have a lot of rain, okay? And then you look farther into the forecast and you see these warmer days following the rain. That rain's gonna go into these shallow areas, and these smaller, shallower ponds are gonna get real dirty real fast. When those warming trends happen, it's going to warm that shallow water fast, which is often gonna bring your active bass right up shallow, right near the bank, And a lot of the time for me, when that water's been in the upper 40s, I've seen it jump 8, 9 degrees. For example, we're out behind my house today. My water in the last 10 days has jumped up 9 degrees in temperature. There was no way I would have been able to get a reaction fish if it stayed in the 40s, but today I got almost 54 degrees. I'm in Northern California. You may have ice on your water and this may not apply to you, but I got 3 reaction fish, and actually my 3 better fish were on a reaction bait, believe it or not. And this is something I wouldn't have been able to do if it wasn't for one of these warming trends. This also happens on bigger lakes. You can go out to a big lake. What you want to look is for those narrower bodies of waters, those creek arms where that water's going to run in, it's going to dirty up, and when that warming trend comes, it's going to warm that water fast. The best part too is when water's dirty, the settling dirt goes down, therefore it lowers the oxygen level down deeper to where the better oxygen and warmer water is now shallow. So that's going to get you a lot of active bass up shallow. One thing you want to do too, when you see that water temperature jump 5 degrees, whether it was in the low 40s for you or mid 40s for you, if it jumps up 5 degrees, always go with a moving bait. If your water's still dirty, go with like a chatterbait, go with like a square bill. I tried the chatterbait today. They didn't want to eat it. They wanted something down there deflecting. Then once you do catch one on that, don't leave that area fast. Stop, back off for a little bit, fish like a weedless style shaky head down there, fish a wacky Senko like I did. All the spots that I got bit, I went back and I finesse fish, because in the winter time, like we are now, it may not seem like it, it looks warm today and it is pretty warm, but a lot of the time in the winter, those fish are going to be schooled up together and you're gonna get second, third, fourth chance opportunities. It has been a little 2-hour trip behind the house today. You can do this from the bank, and I managed to catch a limit, and that was only because of this warming trend right after the rain. Remember guys, if you like this video, make sure to subscribe to us here at Lucky Tackle Box and follow us on all the other social media channels. Best of fishing. We'll see you next time.